All right, so let's transition over to KeyshawnDavis versus Jamaine Ortiz. So Ortiz and Davis is fighting. Do you feel like with this fight, do you feel like this is KeyshawnDavis' toughest style matchup to date for his career?
Yes. First, I think it's a good matchup. For one, I think it's a good matchup. But to your point, it's going to be a tough one for KeyshawnDavis. It's going to be a test. I understand that he won the 2020 Olympics, which is cool. He have 13 fights, professional fights.
Right.
But this definitely going to be a step up and a test for Keyshawn. Now, Ortiz could have something to prove. He's trying to get his foot back into the into the game. So he's gonna have to pull this one off. However, I'm not gonna call this one because this is gonna be interesting.
What you mean you're not gonna call it? Hold on, C3 punch combo. You got a whole Cotillion. She's talking about so she not gonna call it. No, you gotta do a little something. You gotta give us. So you just saying what is 50-50? What you gonna do?
I'm just saying.
Yeah, what you saying? You scared? Look, you know how boxers be saying they ducking. Is she ducking the smoke?
All the way out of me for real, for real.
Is she ducking the smoke? What you? How you feeling?
Look, no weighing in on this side. Right. Thank you, Lo, because she already know ain't nothing scared.
Well, we don't know. Let them know. I don't know. Let them know. You teetering. She teeter-totter.
Because I'm a realist. I can't say, because, boxing, anything can happen, okay? So me being a realist, and I'm looking at both of them, Ortiz has something to prove, but Ortiz also fought some good guys, though. He fought Lomachenko, and he fought Teofimo.
Yep, Teofimo Lopez.
So he fought some good guys. So this definitely going to be a test. So he had the experience. He have all that. So it's going to be a test for KeyshawnDavis. It's going to be a test for him. Let me just say that. It's going to be a test. Both boxers have something to prove. And, hey, it's going to be a test.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a test. This is going to be, to me, to your point, it's going to be KeyshawnDavis' biggest test to date. It's going to be like his biggest challenge. Definitely, we're going to see, can he hold, his end to the bargain? Because, KeyshawnDavis, we see you out here in these boxing streets. We saw what you just did at the fight with Andy Cruz and Moore Tyler. You was happy when Cruz, lost that fight. So you had the belt out. And, you also publicly stated that you was going to knock out Ortiz. So, we going to see if you really, really like that because Ortiz has never been knocked out. And to your point, too, he's fought Teofimo Lopez and he's fought Vasil Lomachenko, and those two hard opponents, and we know both of them are very well decorated, well loved fighters. And with Lomachenko, Ortiz really put in work. Matter of fact, some people had Ortiz possibly win that fight, but to me, in my opinion, I feel like when he fought in particular Lomachenko, he like edged it. Loma edged it out like in them last couple championship rounds, but Ortiz was really putting them paws. I say, he was giving that paw work like the first, I want to say really the early rounds, like the first 5 to 6 for real. And but the championship rounds is what really made a difference. And Ortiz is definitely an opponent that can switch stances effectively. He has very good just foot movement in the ring, sharp. He has versatility. He can give you feints. He can give you good jab work. He can give you good combinations. And KeyshawnDavis is good too because of his I love what I love, one thing, or let me just say this, what I really, really like about KeyshawnDavis too, he unloads with his combos, and when he unload and really locked in, I love the way he, does his combinations. I like his jab work, his timing. He has a very good IQ as well. So his punch placement and his accuracy. So we're gonna get to see a lot of things.
I'm just tell Keyshawn stay locked in, because to Michael's point, them championship rounds, them later rounds, and according to what I see out here on BoxRec, you can go the distance. You have a nice, you won a 2020 Olympics. And we all know to even win the Olympics, you got a silver medal to even win that. You fight how many times a day? So just keep that momentum, and then in later rounds, if it's the later rounds, you just pick it up. So that's what most professionals do, or most champions do. In them later rounds, some championship rounds, they come out like champions. They really pick it up towards the later round. So just keep your stamina, pick it up. Again, it's gonna be a great fight. Great fight. But hey, it's gonna be a great fight. I'm not calling it. Both guys have something to prove.
See, I ain't gonna say nothing. See, she not calling it. She from the east side, y'all. She said she from the east side. She not calling it. I don't know.
I call it like I see
West
it.
side people, we call it like how we see it. You know what time it is. So I'm gonna call it in 1 second. I'm gonna give y'all who I think gonna win because you know I'm not scared. But let's get to another quick point with KeyshawnDavis.
I'm glad I had that one, y'all. Go ahead.
Let's get let's get to a quick point. KeyshawnDavis is you know, he's got a new team this time around. You know, he's not gonna be with Terrence Crawford team as far as like with Bo Mack, his trainer. You know, it's been a lot of rumblings and talk about that as well. So do you think that could possibly play a key factor, especially transition and everything that's been going on? You know, Keyshawn from prior without all the things as far as missing weight, then coming back, you know, getting another opportunity, then not having the same team. How you think that's gonna play out for him?
I know you big on trainer and trainers, and I am too. But however, I know when it's go time, it's the boxer's mentality. It's his state of mind. You know, it's the trainer's job up until that point. And I'm just saying as far as on the mental end, because when boxers get in the ring, it's like it's them. It really is them. So we're, as the trainer, to your point, need to look at boxer and see where and try to see where they're at mentally. So at the end of the day, it's what he wanted. Like Keyshawn, if you want it, it's mental. You know, boxing is more mental than physical. So how bad you want it, it can be 1,000 people around you. It's how bad you want it. It's what it's going to be like that. You know, when you go out there and box. Trainers is very key. Don't get me wrong. You know how I feel about that. It's key. It's key.
Okay.
However, but at the end of the day, just because he hit hiccups and you know, at the end of the day, when they say go, is you and the other boxer, you know, in that ring.
Okay, so let me make a point. Which you are right. At the end of the day, with boxing, it's about you. It's about you. It's what you gonna do because it has to your mindset. So I completely agree with you saying when you say like, it definitely has to do with the boxer because they're the one in the ring. They're the one that see everything. You know, it's been times where boxers say, you know, even though my trainer told me A, B, and C, but they're not in there with me. So I had to go off of my feel, off of my instincts. So I completely agree. But I'm gonna always be big on coaching because it's always the greats. If you notice anybody that's great, let me just say that anybody that's great has always 9 out of 10 gonna always have that great team, that great trainer, because it's always better when you have when it's together togetherness. I'm just saying what you saying is very accurate because they get in the ring by themselves. So I'm not going against you. I'm just saying due to the fact of what you said, I'm gonna always be big on that because when you play organized sports, even though boxing is different than basketball, but just going into the basketball lane, a great coach, when you have that great leader behind you, it's going to help you succeed and get to where you need to be and advance even further when you have great people in your corner. So that's all I'm saying.
I agree with you 300%. No, so don't get it twisted. I agree with you 300%. What I'm saying is this: don't let that deter you from going in that ring because your team and what it used to be. Let me just say that, because at the end of the day, Michael is right. Your team makes a big difference, a huge difference. And to your point, when you have a team and y'all been rocking since training camp and y'all doing everything together and it's fight night and all that, that makes a huge difference in a fighter, especially when that coach know they boxer, especially when your team know that boxer. So Michael right, 300%. I'm not saying that, but I don't want you, because I know how it is when people switch coaches and stuff happen. I know that end. So don't feel no kind of way. You know, that's just to the boxer, because I get their end too, because I kind of feel bad because things happen and things do happen. But I don't want him to feel no kind of way because, you know, he say, she say, they say. Right. You know, I just want him going in with a clear head because at the end of the day, you know, it's boxing, you know. So, no, to your point, trainers, huge point. Your corner, huge point. Your team, even better. Like, so no, I agree 300% with what you're saying. I'm just saying to the boxers who have to switch off and things happen and then with their coach, and I feel for those boxers. That's what I'm trying to say. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And Keyshawn even spoke on that too, and he just said he saw how when Terrence Crawford and Canelo fought, and how Crawford had been with his team since day one, and how it was a family. So he wanted to have something like that of his own and build that up. That's why he said that was one of the reasons he did decide to, have his own team. He wanted something of his own. So all of that makes sense. But let's go. Let's do a prediction. I'm gonna go with Keyshawn, even though I do agree with Cotillo. This is one of them fights that's up in the air. If Keyshawn can really pull this off, this will be a big statement win for him, because Ortiz really does have work. Like, he has that durability. He really has a nice versatile toolbox, and he can really do a lot. I'm just gonna, do a pick, and I'm gonna go, ride with Keyshawn on this. Let's see if he's gonna be right, and let's see if he true to his word, if he can really get Ortiz out of here. But I'm not saying Ortiz. I'm not saying Ortiz can't win this fight, because like you said too, this is one of them fights you don't know. You really don't know, because Ortiz is nice for real.
I mean, both of them. I'm just on the fence. I'm not calling it. I mean, if I see something, I tell you. Look the other tapes. I'm gonna call it for how I see it. But I'm like, I can't see nothing yet. Now maybe we might need to go live, and I can call it when they do the ring walk. I'm real good at calling stuff on the ring walk when I see the size of the boxers, how they looking, how they coming out. I can do in time. I do in time stuff. So maybe we need to go to live and do it in time, and I call it then. But I can't call it.
Look, she want to do in time.
Because I can't see it now. I don't see anything.
No, we want that. That. We want that right now. Listen. You guys
still baking.
See why the West Side the best side. No, I ain't gonna say that. Both sides of Detroit is good. Both sides. But you got any more thoughts?
No. We just having a good time. 2-3 punch combo. We just hey, me and Micah love boxing, having a good time.
It's back and forth. They know. They don't
know it's for real.
I'm just saying they know we just playing around. But so that's our thoughts on KeyshawnDavis versus what's the Ortiz? Yes, KeyshawnDavis versus JamaineOrtiz. Tell us your thoughts. Leave a comment below. Make sure you hit that subscribe. Make sure you hit that like and that notification bell.